Hello everyone. So from today onwards we will see the methods of calculating national income. Okay. So there are three methods of calculating national income. First one is value added, second is income method, and third one is expenditure method. So all these three methods are very important for your exam. Okay. You cannot skip any method. So we will start from the value added method, and this is very important. Most of the time this method, the questions from this method is asked in the exam, in your board exam. Okay, so now what is value added? It measures the national income in terms of value addition by each producing units. Okay, so whenever we produce a commodity, a good, so it passes through various phases, various producing units. Okay, and each producing units adds the value to it. Okay, each producing units add some value to that product. Like for example, here we have an example. It's a basic example. Now suppose there is a production unit called farmer. Okay, and he purchased raw material at the rupees 200. Okay, he purchased some seeds or irrigation system, and the amount was 200. And after producing wheat, for example, we take it wheat. After producing wheat, the wheat was sold at a price of 600 rupees. Okay, so this value of output is selling price, and this intermediate consumption is our the cost for purchasing raw material. Okay, so the difference between intermediate consumption and the value of output, this value of output is selling price. Okay, so don't confuse it by the name. So when the farmer purchases raw material, he plants the seed, he irrigates that plant, and after becoming it wheat, he harvested and he sold. Okay, so he bought, he spent 200 rupees and he sold at 600 rupees. So the profit between these two, okay, it will be called value added. This will not be called profit, this will be called, this 400 rupees will be called value added. Means when he was producing the product, he added the value of 400 rupees into that product. Means when I say value adding, it means that person or that producing unit is making that product better. Okay, means that person is making that product better, and if a product is getting better, it means something is adding into that product. So this 400 is not the profit here, this 400 rupees is the value addition, the betterment of product. Okay, now the farmer added the value of rupees 400. Okay, now the expenditure of one person is the income of another person. This we have to remember this line. Okay, the expenditure of one person is the income of another person. When you spend money to buy a packet of chips, okay, for example, you spend 10 rupees to buy a packet of chips, and that 10 rupees is your expenditure, but that 10 rupees is the income of another person, or of the retailer, of the that firm of who is making the chips. Okay, so we will stick to this line, okay, because this line will be used in further topic as well. After, in the next chapter, there is a topic called investment multiplier. Okay, so this line will be used in that topic also. So remember this line for future, that expenditure of one person is income of another person. Okay, so the farmer sold the wheat at rupees 600. So this 600 is the income, and this 600 is the expenditure. So farmer sold the wheat at rupees 600 to the flour mill. Okay, the flour mill purchased the wheat at rupees 600. Now he processed that wheat. Okay, he processed that wheat, and after processing he sold that wheat, that atta, that flour, okay, at rupees 800. So how what is the value addition here? It's 200 rupees. Means he made the product better. Okay, earlier it was only wheat, but he processed the wheat, he smashed it, and the wheat became flour. So he made the product better. Okay, and how how much value he added? He added rupees 200. Okay, and he sold at rupees 800. So the difference between selling price and and purchasing price will be called value added. Okay, so and this is the formula also, so we have to remember this. Now he sold 800, he sold the flour to the baker, and baker purchased this at rupees 800. Now the intermediate consumption will be 800, and now the baker made some bread. The baker made the product better by converting it into the bread. Okay, now he sold that bread to the shopkeeper at rupees 1000. Now how much value he added? He added rupees 200, okay, into that flour by making it bread. Now he sold that bread to the shopkeeper. Okay, and how, at what price he sold to the customer? At rupees 1200. So in the same way he added the same value, 200 rupees. Now this is only one product, from wheat to the bread. Okay, this product passes through various phases of production, and in total, by passing through the various phases of production, the value added in that single product is of rupees 1000 here. Okay, so we will, in this method, we take how much value is added to a single product after passing through various phases of production. Okay, and we will add the value added, and the final value added is rupees 1000 here. Okay, now there is a formula here. This was the example how a product passes through various phases of production, and which thing we have to add, which thing we have to take in order to calculate the national income. So here we have, what we have to take? We have to take here value added. And how we will get value added? There is a formula. Value added is equals to value of output minus intermediate consumption here. So in your question, value of output will be given, intermediate consumption will be given, and using these two you have to find value added. Okay, now if in case the value of output is not given to you, in case, to make the question difficult or tricky, the CBSE or ICSE might not give you the value of output directly, so you have to calculate it by using other things, like the value of there is formula within the formula here. How you will calculate value of output? By adding sales plus change in stock, by adding sales plus change in stock, and by adding these two you will get value of output. Now in case if there is the value of IC means intermediate consumption is not given directly to you. Okay, so what will be given in that place? Value of raw materials will be given that time. Okay, so the values might be given directly to you or indirectly to you, so you have to find which thing, by adding which of the following things you can calculate intermediate consumption or value of output and etc. Okay, so the chances of finding the value indirectly is high. Okay, because this makes the question difficult. Now there's one more thing which I have to tell you, that there's one more formula for calculating sales if sales is not given directly. Okay, earlier it was value of output, but if sales is not given to you directly, then what will you do? Then you will add domestic sales, okay, plus export. This is the formula for sales. Okay, there's different sales and domestic sales. Sales means when you are selling a product in your country and outside the country. Okay, when you are selling your product inside the country and outside the country. So this domestic sales means the sales which is within our country India, and plus exports which is sold outside the India. So if sales is not given, then you have to check the domestic sales and the export. Okay, and if you get these two, then you have to add domestic sales and export, you will get the sales or total sales. Okay, so this is the thing for calculating, for finding these sales. Now there's one more thing, for calculating intermediate consumption. Okay, now intermediate consumption means raw materials. So from which sources you can find your raw material? Okay, you can find it within India, means it will be called domestic consumption. When you purchase the raw material from within your country, it means it is called domestic consumption. Plus what we will add imports, means you are importing the raw materials from abroad. So this intermediate consumption, if it is not there, then you have to find the domestic consumption and import. And if one of the thing is not there, means domestic consumption is given and import is not given, okay, there might be a chance that domestic consumption might be given there and import might not be there. So what you do, what value you will take? Then if import is not given, then you will take import as 0. The value of import will be taken as 0. So suppose domestic consumption is 100 and import is not given, so you will take import as 0. So 100 plus 0 equals to 100. So your IC, means intermediate consumption, will be 100. So you have to take care of these small things. These are very important, otherwise your answer will get wrong. Okay, so this is the method of calculating sales, calculating IC. And if change in stock is not given, then what you have to do, you have to calculate change in stock by subtracting closing stock minus opening stock. This is the simple formula here: closing stock minus opening stock. You have to subtract these and you will get change in stock. Okay, so these are the basic things, basic formulas which you have to remember for calculating value added method. Okay, so this was the formula here. And now after getting value added, now after you will get value added. So this value added is also called GVA MP. Okay, this value added is also called GVA MP, and it is also called GDP MP. Okay, so the question might be calculate GVA MP. So you don't have to get confused. It means value added, or it also means GDP MP. Okay, the value is in market price only. You cannot say GVA FC. Okay, you can convert later on, but initially you have to find GVA MP or GDP MP. Okay, so this is the alternate name of value added. It has three names. First is value added, then next is GVA MP, and third name is GDP MP. So these are the three names, and the question can come by any name. Okay, so don't get confused here. Now this was the formula here, and how you will calculate national income. First you will find the GVA MP or GDP MP. Now you have to convert this GDP into NNP, means NNP FC. It is called national income also. So the short name of national income is NNP FC. So the question might come that calculate GVA MP and then calculate calculate NNP FC, means national income. So GVA MP means GDP MP. So you have to put GDP MP here. Then what you have to do? You have to convert gross into net. So you will subtract depreciation. Then you will convert domestic into national. You will add NFIA. Then you will convert MP into FC. Then you will subtract NIT. So by this, first you have to find GDP and then you have to convert it into NNP as we did in the previous classes. Okay, so it is a simple thing, but remember, you cannot calculate directly NNP FC using value added. First, the result which you will get GVA MP or GDP MP. Then you have to convert that GDP into NNP or any other thing which comes in your paper. Okay, so you cannot calculate directly, but indirectly you have to calculate national income. Okay, so this was the first method, value added method. Okay, second we will do in next class we will learn the income method, how to calculate national income using income method. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.